Hey guys, good to have you back on my channel. I missed you. It's been a long week, but I survived it. I'm actually speaking this into existence because as I am recording this on a Sunday and you're watching this on a Friday. So by God's grace, I have survived the week. It was fruitful, amazing, fantastic. And I'm here to testify to that, to my future self, wishing her the best and the blessed week. Today we're going to talk about Christians and the Prefect Syndrome. And what is the Prefect Syndrome? We're going to find out just now after this ad break. Today's date was brought to you by Phyllis Patisserie, the home of sweet treats. I have my cup of tea here and I'm ready. So yeah, please do visit my sister's page on Instagram. She bakes cupcakes, pancakes, all sorts of really yummy things that I am privileged enough to have in reach at home. Like I don't have to go anywhere when I'm having cravings. So the Prefect Syndrome is a term that I came up with to describe how we sometimes as Christians tend to make people feel like they're on detention when they're around us, or like they're under 24-hour surveillance cameras, or they're like, like we're monitoring their salvation. And it's got a lot to do with the fact that we need to understand that Jesus was a very relatable guy. He was a cool dude. He was calm, collected, and he spoke with parables because he knew that he couldn't just show up in all his heavenly glory. I think we'd all faint if he came like in his full and real form. We wouldn't be able to handle it. Our human minds would not be able to conceive or even fathom a God of that magnitude. So he came in human form, and he came in the most humble human form. And that's what we need to do as Christians. We shouldn't make people feel like they have to tiptoe around us because then we're not doing our job correctly. And I have experienced that. I have experienced moments where I felt like I'm not Christian enough to be with this person, to be their friend, to interact with them, because my life isn't at the standard of holiness that their life is. And just like that, you can lose a soul just because you're unapproachable, which is not a good thing. One symptom of suffering from the Prefect Syndrome is when you believe or think that grace is something that should be campaigned for. A lot of Christians, I don't know whether we do it subconsciously or consciously, we think that grace is something to be campaigned for. We think that favor is something to be campaigned for. We think that excellence is something to be campaigned for, including blessings. But blessings are not transactional. Otherwise, it's not a blessing. If you have to give something in exchange for the blessing, it's not a blessing, it's a transaction. And our God is not a transactional God. He finished the transaction at the cross. Everything that you receive right now is free of charge, including the air that you're breathing. So that means when you were anointed to do something, you didn't have to pay for it. He gave it to you because he wanted to. And he gives love to whoever. It doesn't matter at what journey of faith you are, whether you've walked 5,000 miles. If he sees someone who's taken just one step, but he sees something in them that he can use to inspire other people, he's going to pick the person, sorry to say, he's going to pick the person who's only walked 2 steps over the one who's walked 1,000 miles. And I can't explain it, I can't justify it because I'm not God. That's just how he works. And I think that's why the prodigal son was so disappointed. The prodigal son's older brother was so disappointed in the Bible because he had been campaigning his whole life to hold a certain position in his father's household. And when he realized that there's nothing that he did that his father could recognize in comparison to the irresponsible brother, the irresponsible son, he was devastated. If being Christian, if being part of God's kingdom meant that we should come with a list of requirements and we checked all the boxes, his love would not be called unconditional love. It would be called conditional love, because you come with all these conditions and you fill them in. But with God, there's no terms and conditions apply. There's no T's and C's. In actual fact, the T's and C's is Jesus. He filled out that boring form that people ask you to fill out at banks and all these contracts. He did that. Jesus is the kid who never talks in class but took detention for the whole class. That's who Jesus is, to put it in very childlike terms. So none of us are worthy. None of us are like clean. And for you to exercise your amazingness or righteousness over another human being is unfair. It's unfair.
Oh Lord, Almighty God, bring this sinner through the waters of this life. Oh, I know. Your word tells me to trust you. You know what I'm saying? I know you know what I'm saying.
That brings us to the end of our video /date. If you enjoyed this episode, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share the goodness with your family, your friends, your baes, everybody. I hope to see you soon, and I wish you a fun-filled, spirited week ahead. God bless you. Bye.